which current players could be future coaches.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what everyone thinks about this. Just from my own team's perspective, Hawthorn, I reckon Jack Gunston looks good for at least a development coach role. You saw the impact that he's had on Kalshadir in his first season. He really wasn't expected to play much more than Box Hill VFL level for the first couple of seasons, but he instantly made an impact with that. I guess, they both lost their fathers, unfortunately, so they had that sort of emotional bond, but then again, the skill development that Gunston's been able to help through that has been quite impressive. So I think he definitely could be lined up for a role there. Not sure if he genuinely is or not, but I think he definitely could work in that. I think just from players in general, I really like Wiedering as a leader. I feel like he could be a good coach. I don't know why. He gives off that vibe for me. So interesting what everyone else thinks.
I'll be honest, Wiedering to me doesn't give off the vibe of someone that's like super smart, but footy smarts maybe.
Maybe footy smarts, yeah.
I think it's just tall guys. Just sorry, no offense, but they don't give off that vibe.
Going off pretty much the two clubs you mentioned, it's like Sam Mitchell was always touted as a future coach, like during his playing days, so smart and intelligent, and obviously that's paying off already. Like what we're seeing is what many had predicted. Steve Johnson was another one who in his playing days everyone thought would probably be a pretty good senior coach. He was a good assistant. I think he's done pretty well at the local level, but maybe he didn't want to take that next step, don't know. But yeah, on Hawthorn, I think Mitchell said, I think it was last week, about Carl Amon, and how he usually goes to him sometimes at quarter time breaks just to see how he's seeing the game. And he's another one that looks like a great mentor for some of the younger players in that Hawks list. And then for the Blues, yeah, Sam Doherty and Nick Newman were two that came to mind. Nick Newman already doing a little bit of coaching and work with the women's program, and with his time on the sidelines this year is doing a bit for the Blues. And then Doherty as well. You go to training at the Blues and you always see him pulling players aside one-on-ones and just kind of helping them, and some of the younger guys. So they're two to mind. Scott Pendlebury's a bit of an obvious one, but he's going to be quite a fascinating one with... I think he said before he doesn't want to go straight into coaching. Like he wants to.
He's coaching now.
Well, yeah, he is, but he's at Haileybury under Matthew Lloyd. I think he said he's probably going to have like a year away from football, do what he wants to do after retirement, and then he's also got a budding media career as well. So he's got a decision to make there. So there's some that came to mind. Pendle's probably one of the more obvious, but yeah, some of them maybe lesser known options I think around the competition.
Yeah, it's interesting with Gunston. So he's played under Clarkson, Mitchell, Fagan, who are all part of the same system, which has obviously generated a lot of successful coaches. You look at smart, natural footballers or football heads, like Matty Rowell seems someone who's like totally engrossed in the game. Jordan Dawson, for whatever reason, I get that vibe from him at the Crows that he would be a pretty good... he's obviously a leader there anyway. Yeah. And then you tend to gravitate to defenders a little bit. I don't know, it's the way they see the game or... I look at my own club, someone like a Cal Wilkie, looks at like intelligent footballers who make good decisions, they're disciplined, they speak well, those types. So some of the successful coaches of recent times from defence, Chris Scott, Damien Hardwick, those sorts of players that were more defensively minded. So, yeah, maybe there's an element of that in it.
Yeah. Max Gawn will 100% be a ruck coach at some point. I think he's already... I think back in the day when we had Jackson on the list, I remember him speaking a lot about taking Jackson under his wing. It seemed pretty obvious. But yeah, no, there are some good names. I actually have some first-hand experience with being coached with Pendles when I was back at the Rookie Media Academy. Yeah.
Oh, for real.
I mean, he wasn't really coaching me, but I just saw him in action as a coach, like mostly with junior academy players and stuff. But it's good to see. He has a very football brain. Which I don't think anybody doubted.
No. Were you aware that he had a basketball background?
Yeah, maybe that's where his footy brain came from.
I mean, it's all coming together.
Yeah.